Philadelphia, on a bright spring morning in 1792. The city pulsed like the heart of a young nation. America was barely 10 years old, still intoxicated by freedom. The clatter of horse-drawn carts, the cries of merchants, and the hum of hope filled the streets of the new republic. President George Washington carried the heavy weight of responsibility in silence, while Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton bent over his desk, pen scratching across paper. In Hamilton's mind, one question echoed: how will this nation survive? At that time, America had no official currency. People traded with Spanish pesos, British pounds, Dutch guilders, and private notes. Commerce was messy, prices shifted from town to town, and the memory of the collapsed continental dollar haunted everyone. The phrase "not worth a continental" had become a bitter reminder of lost trust. Hamilton wanted to end the chaos. His vision was simple yet profound. America needed its own money, and that money had to be built not on fragile paper, but on real metal, gold and silver, the foundations of trust and independence. Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1792, establishing the U.S. Mint and declaring the dollar as the nation's unit of account. But the dollar was more than a name. It was defined as 371.285 grains of pure silver. Gold was tied to silver at a fixed ratio of 15:1. Stability and everyday usability were the goals. The law went further. Counterfeiting or debasing money was punishable by death. To the founders, money was not just economics, it was moral. To corrupt the currency was to steal from every citizen. But time revealed flaws. Market ratios shifted, and silver began to vanish from circulation, hoarded or shipped overseas. Gold took its place. It was a living example of Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good. In 1834, Congress changed the ratio, and silver disappeared even faster. By the Civil War, the government printed unbacked paper notes, greenbacks. Inflation soared, savings evaporated. And in 1873, silver was demonetized altogether, remembered bitterly as the crime of '73. The dream of a balanced bimetallic system was gone.
By 1900, gold alone defined the dollar. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created, centralizing control of money. In 1933, Roosevelt ordered citizens to surrender their gold. And in 1971, Nixon severed the final link to gold. The dollar was now pure fiat, backed only by government decree.
Today, dollars are created with keystrokes, existing mostly as credit and debt. Inflation is called healthy, though the founders saw it as theft. Hamilton's dream has been turned upside down. Money no longer protects the people, it serves power. The Coinage Act of 1792 was more than a monetary law. It was the constitution of economic freedom. The question it raised, whether money serves the state or the people, still echoes today. And perhaps the most important reminder is this: money is trust. Once trust is broken, collapse follows, not just economic collapse, but moral collapse. Modern debates about inflation, debt, digital currency still carry the echoes of 1792. Hamilton's vision, Washington's worries, and the people's search for trust continue to resurface in new forms. In the end, the Coinage Act was not just about coins. It was a warning. The question of who controls money, and for whose benefit, remains at the very heart of freedom.